Do compression garments really help athletes recover? In this video, we are looking at the article, Effects of Compression Garments on Muscle Strength and Power Recovery Post-Exercise. It was published in Life in 2025 by Lee and colleagues. This was a systematic review and meta-analysis examining whether compression garments can help reduce the decline in muscle strength and power after exercise-induced fatigue. The question is not just whether compression feels good. The real question is whether it helps performance recover. The article focused mainly on strength, power, recovery timing, body region, and training experience. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Sports Science Insight. Here we break down sports science research into simple, practical, and evidence-based insights for athletes, coaches, students, and practitioners. Let's break it down. After hard training or competition, performance drops. That drop can show up as lower maximal strength, lower jump performance, lower power output, more soreness, and slower readiness for the next session. This is the problem compression garments are trying to solve. They are not supposed to make an athlete magically stronger. They are supposed to help reduce the performance loss that happens after fatigue. That distinction matters. In recovery science, the goal is often not to create a huge performance boost. The goal is to preserve function, reduce decline, and help the athlete return to quality training sooner. So the key question is this: can compression reduce the performance drop? Compression garments may support recovery through several mechanisms. First, they may improve venous return. That means helping blood move more efficiently back toward the heart. Second, they may support blood flow and circulation in the working muscles. Third, compression may help reduce swelling after damaging exercise. Fourth, compression can reduce muscle oscillation. That means less soft tissue vibration and potentially better mechanical stability. These mechanisms may help reduce soreness, support tissue recovery, and improve perceived recovery. But we need to be careful. Compression is not magic. It is a recovery tool that may support recovery pathways. And like any recovery tool, the effect depends on context, timing, garment fit, pressure, and the athlete. This study was not a single experiment. It was a systematic review and meta-analysis. The researchers searched several databases, including PubMed, Web of Science, EBSCO, Cochrane, and Scopus. They screened more than 5,000 records. Then they selected randomized controlled studies that compared compression garments with a control condition. The outcomes were focused on muscle strength and muscle power after exercise-induced fatigue. This matters because meta-analyses can provide a broader view than one isolated study. But they also depend on the quality and consistency of the included trials. So, when we interpret the results, we need to ask two things. What was the overall effect? And under what conditions did compression work best? Main result was positive, but modest. Compression garments significantly reduced the decline in muscle strength after exercise-induced fatigue. They also significantly reduced the decline in power. But the effects were small. For muscle strength, the overall effect was around Hedges's G equals minus 0.28. For power, the effect was around Hedges's G equals minus 0.23. In this context, the negative value does not mean compression made performance worse. It means compression helped reduce the decline compared with the control group. So the practical message is not, compression creates a massive recovery effect. The practical message is, compression helped reduce the drop, but the effect was not huge. That is important for athletes and coaches. Useful, yes. A miracle, no. Timing was one of the most important findings. Compression did not work equally at every recovery window. For muscle strength, the benefit appeared clearer during 1 to 24 hours, 25 to 48 hours, and more than 72 hours after fatigue. For power, the clearest effect appeared during the 1 to 24 hour window. That means compression may be most useful when athletes need to recover soon after demanding exercise. For example, between training sessions, between tournament matches, or after intense lower body work. But not every time window showed a significant effect. That is why the timing of use matters. Compression seems most useful at specific recovery windows. So the best question is not only, should I use compression? It is also, when should I use it? The effects also differed by body region. Lower limb compression garments showed clearer benefits for strength recovery. That includes garments such as compression socks, tights, or lower body sleeves. Upper limb compression garments were less consistent. One possible reason is muscle size. The lower limbs contain larger muscle groups and may experience greater mechanical load, blood flow demand, and exercise-induced damage. Compression may also influence lower limb circulation and muscle pump function more clearly. Upper limb garments may still help in some contexts, especially later in recovery, but the evidence was less consistent. So the key takeaway is this: compression may work differently depending on the body region. For athletes, that means lower body compression may be more relevant after running, jumping, sprinting, resistance training, and field or court sports. The review also looked at training experience. Both trained and untrained individuals appeared to benefit from compression garments. But the effect may be more meaningful in trained individuals under certain recovery windows. That makes sense. Trained athletes often experience higher workloads, greater training density, and more frequent exposure to intense sessions. They may also be more sensitive to small recovery improvements because their performance demands are higher. However, untrained individuals can also experience high soreness and strength loss after unfamiliar exercise. So compression may help both groups. But the context matters. The athlete's training level matters. The type of exercise matters. The recovery window matters. And the goal matters. Training status may influence how useful compression becomes. Now we need to interpret the evidence carefully. This study supports a benefit, but it does not prove that compression garments are a universal recovery solution. There were several limitations. Many studies did not report the exact pressure level of the garments. That matters because compression pressure can influence the effect. Blinding is also difficult. Athletes know when they are wearing compression garments. That means placebo or expectancy effects may contribute to perceived recovery. The review also reported high heterogeneity. In simple terms, the studies were not all the same. They differed in exercise type, garment type, pressure, timing, participants, and outcome measures. So the correct interpretation is balanced. Compression can be useful, but it is not a recovery miracle. The evidence supports a benefit, but not a universal guarantee. So what should athletes and coaches take from this review? First, compression garments can be considered as an add-on recovery tool. Second, they may be especially useful after hard sessions that create muscle fatigue. Third, they may be helpful during congested schedules, when athletes need to recover between sessions or competitions. Fourth, the effect may be more relevant for lower body recovery. Fifth, compression should not replace the foundations of recovery. Sleep still matters, nutrition still matters, hydration still matters, training load management still matters, and recovery planning still matters. Compression is a tool, not the foundation of recovery. If this video helped you, leave a like, subscribe to Sports Science Insight, and stay tuned for more evidence-based content on training, recovery, sports science, and performance. And tell me in the comments, do you use compression garments for recovery? Or do you think the effect is mostly placebo? See you in the next breakdown.